Hello, YouTube fans, here again. And I think it was my Chuck Norris films. Why not this one? It's one that was very popular during the 80s. That being Missing in Action. That's right, 1984, the original Missing in Action. Now, some people say this was sort of like a Rambo rip-off, but not really. First Blood Trust will come out in 82. This come out in 1984. And I always felt it was very similar to number two of First Blood. Because when you think about it, it's to do with soldiers missing in action. Chuck Norris as a character, Bennett, goes and looks for them. Now, you start off with a date bit of music, which I think they used in this one as well. And you got him in war. It's based on the Area of Fear arm. And these people being tortured. He's in the jungle and he jumps up with his two explosions and gets blown up. End of the movie. But not really, because it turns out to be a nightmare scene. So he's been asked to go back for people who are missing in action to prove that they're still missing, they're not dead, and all this. At first, he ain't going to do it, but then he has a change of heart and he decides just to go straight to the pace. First missing in action, I say it's a bit predictable, but you do get some action on the way. You got one Chinese guy who has been a Vietnamese soldier, and you think, have you seen him before? Think of Big Trouble. Little China. It's that guy. And been that few things. And you've got this one guy, and the first missing in action, he's having a lot of fast bats. You got the idea he was a prisoner in that. We're down to focus on a bit more in that one. And really brutal. You've got this big guy, talks his talk and so on. That's the character Bennett. And this is and they work for this American embassy there. You got this sergeant who's a bit of a dick with Chuck Norris, his character being Bennett. And there's a bit where he's very dull looking there, that's very dull looking woman. There's a bit where he rips her brows off, nothing sexual, I'll get to that in a minute, and he kills the one who's our main villain. And he's trying to get information, he tries to pull a gun out, and Chuck Norris, as Bennett, falls a knife and kills him. And you meet another guy, sadly no longer with us, been in loads of films, the original Titters, Braid Runner, the list goes on. And he meets him to help him find these people who are missing in action. I do love the bit, you've got this boat, really cool boat, has machine guns, it's bulletproof, it's like something you see in a Bond film. I think the boat's pretty cool, and he managed to buy that. Dad also one die for it. But like I said, there's a bit where he rips the girl's blouse off, makes it look like he's sleeping with her, because he isn't. That ain't nice to look at. But like I say, with this, there's some action in it. You've got a boat chase scene, you've got a truck scene with an action bit. You've got a bit where Bennett opens a cupboard and someone tries to stab him and he offends himself and knocks him out the window. You've got a bit where the main bad guy tries to shoot a missile and misses him but injures people on the way and kills a poor kid. So there's a bit of action here and there, but you really want to go into it for more action and all that. Go for that one. I say the second one is more like a war estate prison sort of film. That one I say is more action. This one I say was more of a filler with some action on the way. So I do love the bit where he's on the boat with the other guy and you've got these soldiers, he throws bombs to blow them up, jumps the toss, fights this other guy. Right, he stabs one and the other guy shoots him. And I do like the bit where he breaks in, you've got these man traps, which I do kind of like the way he dodges it. I do like the bit where he gets everyone out and you've got these Vietnamese prisoners and they thank him. There's one good bit though where the big guy, tries to fight Chuck Norris and he rams an axe in his chest. Ultimate revenge. But then it gets to the action where you do find out the soldiers are prisoners. Bennett gets them out and he's getting on his air to top. So it's quite sad because his main mate gets killed to save him. He self-sacrifices himself, which is sad. But I do love the bit where he's in the air, the top, he's firing a toss. The people are about to fob it off. They say there's no one who is prisoners in that era. Chuck Norris as Bennett comes in, nick of time, pauses, end of movie. But the first Missing in Action, you could definitely see after that where they made like a trilogy or a sequel, like one year after. You had Missing in Action 2, late 80s, you had that one. It's definitely a good film, you know what I mean? As the films go on, usually like the films, I think Norris stood out, whether it be the Delta Force and so on. In Force of USA, I not got to that one there. I don't think I did get to that one there. I have to have a look. But I say Force of USA, definitely not a Christmassy film. But Missing in Action, the first one, would I say there's some villains in it? Not really. The big guy fights for Chuck Norris. He gets killed halfway. The other villain, which I always remember in Big Trouble in Little China, as well as the Golden Child, not really, he gets killed halfway. The other soldiers, they're there, they get killed. He gets the people out. So they're not really memorable villains compared to when you get to that. Definitely that one, a villain you love to hate, as well as the one in that. The villains in the first Missing in Action, they're there. They're there. I think the villains, the more as you get villains, more when you get to that and that. But for the first one being Missing in Action, I didn't mind it. I didn't mind it. I think Chuck Norris, he's definitely sort of like a Rambo or a Commando, that sort of character, like the bit with the boat, this boat, and they think Bennett's dead and these soldiers are laughing, and I just love the bit when he comes out the water, slow motion, just all shoots them up, no fucking about. I do love that scene. I think that scene is pretty action packed. The opening, I love the opening, of the use of the jungle. He's running around, he's shooting the bad guys. I told us it's a nightmare scene. I like the use of the jungle when it's there. You want to see more of the jungle, get to the sequel and the third. But the first one for a sort of a Vietnam film, yeah, it's not a bad one. It's not a bad one. I mean, that era, you had a lot of these Vietnam sort of movies, sort of feel to them, and this is the same. So because it's not a bad one, and I know they made like fearful, an 8-star rating for me. They're Missing in Action. It was a good film with Chuck Norris. It's definitely like sort of like your spin-offs of Rambo, your spin-offs of Commando and all that. But the first one I say was more of a filler, more of people are missing in action, which that reminds me, as I was about to say. That reminds me of First Blood Part 2, but if you're going into it for action, there's not really as much action as what you see in First Blood Part 2. It's more nearly at the end half. You want him to get these people out of prison. It does discussions, you know, like the soldiers were treated like that, probably treated like that in real life. But for a film, a bit of action, a bit of a war film, a bit of this, a bit of that, it's not a bad one. It could definitely see why it made sequel one thereafter, why it made the third one. Yeah, Missing in Action. I'll do it again. 8-star rating for me. Be smart, be safe. See you later.